Mark Duda joining us from the Lackawanna College Football Falcons. And Mark, great to see you again. Always feels great after a win, and you've had plenty of those this year, and a great opponent in Monroe College. Let's talk about the victory.
It was a heck of a win. You know, we beat them 19-0. They were a prolific offensive football team. They had been scoring 50 a game, and our defense came in rose occasion and actually shut them out, which is unbelievable for us.
Talking to some of the defenders, and they said, listen, we want to step up our game. They're fired up after that loss to ASA, and respectfully, you said, hey, ASA is a quality opponent, and it was a very good football game. And talk about little things you saw from the players in preparation.
I think their preparation week was the best of the year. Coming off a loss, the team could go either way. Some teams take it to heart and end up working really, really hard, and some don't. These guys came to play, and they played I think at that time Monroe was 14th in the country or something around there, and they went to their home place for homecoming and beat them for homecoming. So they did everything they needed to do to get it accomplished, held a really good offense to only a few yards, and their defense is really stingy at Monroe, but we got 19 points out of it.
Let's talk offensively about the points you guys were able to put up, and running the football, throwing the football. What went well there?
Well, we caught some big balls. You'll meet Davion Prince here in a second, who caught a long one for a touchdown. They couldn't catch him. So we had two really long throws, and they ran the ball. But it was tough going all the way through. That defense was highly ranked as well. I think they were ranked 8th in the country. So it was one of those things we had to battle through. We went up 3-0 on the field goal, came on back 6-0, got out to 12-0, and just kept holding on. And they couldn't get in the end zone. Finally cashed that last one in.
Getting towards the end of the season here, last couple of weeks of the season. You have a couple of weeks in November to prepare for that opponent. But let's talk. Okay, first of all, you're home this week, so that always feels good. And let's talk a little bit about who you're going to face.
That's awesome. We're home. It's homecoming as well for our players. We've been fortunate not to lose a game at home in 3 years, which is a long time by junior college standards. And we have, I think, a really, really good football team. They're kind of interesting for us. School's called Hocking. They're from Ohio. They're 3-3 this year, but they played Georgia Military last week, and we're leading with 5 minutes to go. So they're a quality opponent as well. They've gotten a lot better. A lot of Ohio recruits, people from all over that area. So Hocking's going to be good, and they'll come into Scranton.
Coach, let's talk about a couple of the guys that we have here tonight. We'll be talking with them shortly and what they bring to the table.
Jonesy, we call him. Wilkins Jones Joseph is a great defensive end, and they're both from about 2 miles from each other. They're both from Washington, D.C. Navion Prince is our receiver, super speed guy, real fast, long touchdown threat. Both of those guys have done a great job. Both of them are sophomores that went a long way the other night to having us win the ball game.
Health-wise, where do we stand with the Falcons coming out of the weekend against a physical team?
We're healthier this week than we were last. We walked into that one. We had 2 running backs hurt in the last game before we started. So we're down to our 3rd running back. We had a lot of injuries, and we got ourselves through and got the win.
Talk about what you do, ramping up, ramping down. Towards the end of the season here, you got to know your players. You know your program, that you've done it so long now. Talk about what you guys try to do over the last few weeks of the season.
You have to do 2 things. You have to focus on your opponent, but you also have to work on individual work that sometimes fades. People don't realize that a football player, if he doesn't run a drill for a certain amount of weeks, he starts losing that skill set. So you have to see where your skills, what deteriorates, and kind of make sure you bolster that going into week after week. If you don't do that, you won't play your best football at the end.
We talked about in the past, you guys analyzing yourself and doing some stuff. How about your own reflection about, being the head coach at Lackawanna and what you guys felt like you did between ASA and Monroe?
I think we handled it I think we put ASA to bed as quickly as we could. And we told our guys how well they played against ASA, and they did. And realized the season wasn't over by a long shot. If we go out there and win the rest of the ball games we had, we'll go bowling again, for the 3rd time in a row and get to a really, really good place. So our kids kind of took it to heart, got better at what they did. And every week is a struggle in our schedule. We'll go from this game to DePage out in Illinois, who's a good football team. Then we'll go to Marshall and play Georgia Military, another great football team. So it's not easy along the way, but we pride ourselves to Lackawanna getting better as the months go on, and we always do.
And about this time of the year, we're in, just about mid-October here, guys with their grades and classes and things kind of start working themselves out. Talk about those conversations you have with the guys and make sure that they're on top of their A game in the classroom.
Well, sure. They just went through midterms now, and they have basically 7 weeks left in the semester. If they don't continue to improve those, all the wishes and dreams they have won't come true. So we have to make sure they understand how important that is to us and to the institution as well.
Mark Duda this week, getting ready for the next opponent, and there'll be a little homecoming this weekend in Scranton. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Al. Appreciate it.
Joseph Wilkins joining us from Lackawanna College this week as Monroe is in the past, but we're still going to talk about it, Joseph, because it was a big win against a nationally ranked team. You guys pitched a shutout against a team that could score 40, 50 points. What went well defensively for you guys?
Okay, so we had a game plan to come out and stop the run first. So forcing the pass, we got a lot of great pass rushers on our team. So we got them to stop the run. They had some really big kids that protected the quarterback, but we really got after them, and the game plan went well, and that helped secure the win.
Let's talk about some of those guys up front. And usually I get a D end, a D tackle up front that talks about the other guys. So tell me about your teammates, because I'm sure some of them have talked about you already this year.
Okay. First up, we got Cherokee Glasgow.
Met him last week.
Me and him rotate back and forth, and we just kept going. In the middle, you got Miles Turner, Mark Shaney, two guys that's really strong. Vargas Davis, he's pretty strong too. And, back to Miles Turner, he's pretty fast off the ball. He's flying around. On the other side, you had Vic. And he was Vic Mitchell. He's a great pass rusher, long arms, pretty big kid.
How about those linebackers? You guys got to tie some guys up for them to make some plays. Yeah. Talk about a couple of the linebackers this year.
Let's start in from the middle. We got London Cloud. He's a pretty good guy. He's really fast. He's smart, and he knows where to get the ball and all that. On the outside, you have Castillo, and he's really fast, like super fast, covers everything. On the other side, you have Andre Blackett, and he flies the ball, hard hitter.
How about this offensive line from Monroe this week? What were some things? Were they big? Were they quick? What were some things that you guys were able to do to offset that offensive line they had?
Well, we thought that was pretty big, so we was going to use a lot of speed against it. We were faster, and we just used our speed against their size, and it worked out pretty well.
Let's talk about Lackawanna College and being there for you. What have you learned about yourself and about growing up and starting to become a man a little bit?
Speaking of, when I first got to Lackawanna, I was young kid. I've been there for 2 years now, and I feel like I've grown into a man since I've been there. It's the community. It helps you grow. You get there, you're playing around, you're not really you ain't bought into it yet. But then after a while, you get to know the guys, become family, and it's like you want to win. So we all got the same common goal.
This guy over here, Coach Duda, played in the NFL, D lineman. What do you learn from that guy?
I learned everything, every single thing, from pass protections to what move to use against it. I learned everything. I'm a student of the game. He's the teacher.
And he's a stud teacher. He was a stud player back in the day. Let's talk about that next step for you as far as where. Does it matter, or you just want to go on and continue your education?
I want to go out and play for a team that loves to play and has a great education campus for me. That's what I'm looking for.
Let's talk about some people in your corner rooting for you. So got some family back home that cheering you on?
Yes, I have my sister Sylvia Wilkins, my brother Lamont Wilkins. They have my back on every step, and somebody who's always there. Actually, two people that's always there for me. My mother, Deborah Wilkins, and my fiance, Alexis Casper.
Well, congratulations with the fiance. That's
Thank
awesome
you.
to hear. And of course, rugby, something you do for fun. Talk about where you did that, and is that something that you still enjoy?
I don't play rugby anymore because I focus more on the football aspects of my life now. But when I said a year ago, I would play rugby for high school. And then it just helped me become more athletic, so I was like, I'm into it, and it's really fun. And I got to meet the different cultures and stuff, so I enjoyed that.
Oh, neat to hear. Well, Joseph, we wish you the very best going forward, and thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Navon Prince joining us from the Lackawanna College Falcons here on the John Mendola Show. And Navon, let's talk about your position and what your role is on the team.
I'm a wide receiver. I'm a slot receiver. I'm one of our quicker guys. We have about, there's about 4 of us, 4 starters that came back from the spring. I'm one of the quicker guys that came back.
I got to meet a couple of those other receivers. Let's see, Juice, is he a receiver?
Yeah, Juice. Yeah, he's another slot, one of our quick, shifty guys.
Yeah.
He switched from running back to wide receiver in the spring. and you know he's been moving on up as we go along. He's getting better and better every day.
I think I met a couple tall guys out there too that are pretty darn good. You got so many weapons.
Yeah, we got Jawan Green. He's our outside, very dominant player, pretty good. He's probably leading our team in yards and receptions right now. But you know, as a unit, we work very well together.
You had some wheels to take it to the house this week, right?
Yeah.
Talk about the big play that you had.
Well, we were kind of having troubles. I think we went 3 and out the play before, and you know, Coach Bardini, he asked us, you know, what are we seeing out there? What are the coverages looking like? And you know, I just told her, I let him know, you know, the linebacker's basically chipping me and he's leaving me one-on-one with the safety. I trust my speed and I trust my play. I feel as though I can beat the guy. And you know, over the weeks, Coach Grandy, he has us fill out our reports on the team that we're going up against. So one of the plays that I wrote down, I asked him if we can run it, and he called it the next drive. I think it was 3rd down. It was about 3rd and 7, and we ran it, and I beat the safety over the top. It was an 85-yard bomb. Our quarterback did a heck of a job to get out of the pocket. He was in danger. He got out of there. He let it rip, and it was right over top of the shoulder. You know, it was pretty good.
Nice to finish that off, huh?
Yeah. Really, we needed points, so that was a very big play.
Defense did a great job, and when you're on offense, you know, you're rooting for your defense.
Oh, yeah.
You have a lot of confidence in that defense?
Oh, a lot of confidence. Our defense they're legit. We got a lot of animals on that side of the ball. They kind of held it down for the most part. You know, they kept us going. You know, even when we're feeling like you know it's all over, we may make a bad play, they're always on our side. So we do our best to keep them motivated and keep that energy going because they're really like the heart of our team. They keep us pumped.
How about offensively, Michael Dare, the running game, all that stuff? Talk about just having so many weapons. You mentioned a bunch of those receivers. It's a lot of targets, huh?
Oh yeah, we got a lot of targets. Michael Dare, he's our starting quarterback. He gets it going. You know, it starts with him, and we have Joel Shaw in the backfield. We have Eric Finney and a couple other running backs. We have a pretty decent line. Our line they're awesome. You know, we struggle here and there sometimes, but it's nothing that can never be fixed. You know.
How about seeing Lackawanna College and then actually being there with all the talent? I mean, you're like, these guys are pretty good, and you get through a couple practices and you kind of realize, and talk about the talent level and competing in practice and at a high level and knowing, man, I got to work my tail off just to get a starting spot.
Yeah, it was tough. You know, every day we compete. Every day. It's not one day that goes by where we're not. For 2 hours a day, we hate each other. You know, offense and defense. We're enemies when we're practicing, but we're as one when the game comes. You know, it's tough. You know, everybody's competing for a spot. You can have a starting spot today, and you can lose that tomorrow. You know.
You're a big family, and you're the big guy in it as far as the older siblings. So talk a little bit about the younger siblings in your family.
Yeah, I have a younger brother. He turns 16 next month, November 20th. And you know, that's my boy right there. He's still, you know, he's still learning as he goes along. He's growing. He's getting into basketball right now. He's training. You know, he goes to a charter school in Washington D.C. And you know, it's a tech school. It's Friendship Tech Prep. You know, he's very smart. He had the brains growing up. You know, and I just try my best to be the best of a role model as I can. You know, I have a 3.51 GPA now. So he looks up to me. He supports me more than anyone. You know, he retweets all of my tweets. Any big thing that's reported of me, he posts it. He loves me. You know, and Madison, that's my baby sister. That's my girl. That's my baby right there. You know, she's 9 years old. She's like she's the energy of all of my siblings. You know, she's everything. She's spitting image of my mom. It's scary. It's scary. Spitting image
awesome.
of my mom. And then I have a 3-year-old baby brother. That's MJ. He's that little guy runs around, man. It's a big little guy. He's probably about 60 pounds, 3-year-old. He's big, you know.
That's
he
cool.
He loves me. He calls me every day. All he wants is my iPad. That's all he wants. He calls me every day.
Marcus, Madison, MJ, and Navon, and of course, you like English in school.
Yeah.
And what is it about that subject that you enjoy?
I don't know. Math was my favorite subject growing up, but the numbers are getting hard. They started throwing letters in there, and it's getting crazy now. But English is pretty cool. I don't mind reading. You know, at the end of the day, reading the English is what we need every day.
Let's talk about the next step for you, college, and what the ultimate goal is as far as a degree for you.
As far as a degree, you know, I'm basically willing to go anywhere where I can get my MBA degree. You know, I'm going to school for business right now. I graduated May with my associate's degree in business, and I plan on moving forward and get my MBA. Someday I plan to own my own business, selling sportswear, or, you know, I even thought about going to school for physical therapy, so maybe open up physical therapy clinics, you know, something around that nature.
Well, it's great to share your story, Navon. We wish you the very best the rest of the season, and good luck. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.